Alright, hey there folks, this is Tim with an Escape from Tarkov video. It's not a game that's normally within my wheelhouse, but a friend is about to start playing it, and I just wanted to go through some of the basics that just kind of will open the door a little bit for him. So Escape from Tarkov, you have two different types of players. You have a scav, which is basically something you don't get to choose the equipment for. You don't get to choose the gun, whether they even have ammunition, and anything like that. And you go in there, and if they die, it doesn't affect your stats in any way. But if you get gear in there, you can bring it out and arm your PMC, which is your main character, with it. Your PMC, you can upgrade their stats through like their stamina, strength, the ability to handle recoil, everything like that. This is Tarkov. There's all of these different locations. Some of them obviously aren't complete yet, and obviously accessible. Shoreline is the easiest map. That's the one that I'm going to do a quick scav run on. I've played customs a little bit, and I've done a little bit of reserve as well. I've been playing this game a while, and that's as far as I've got. I'm still learning these maps, and it takes a while because they're actually pretty massive. You have two different times of day that you can enter for a run. Usually it's kind of nighttime or daytime. There'll be varying length, which I'll explain, and I'll actually get a map up in a couple of minutes. Just to back out here, you do have like a full trading system and missions system for these 8 people here. You also have a hideout which you can upgrade with things that you'll find during missions, which is why during this mission that I'm about to show you, you'll see me take things that seem kind of worthless. It's because I actually need them to upgrade my hideout here. I've only just started. You can get things like a Bitcoin farm, because you'll find computer parts, you bring them back to your hideout, and you'll make a Bitcoin farm. To supply your Bitcoin farm with power, you'll need a generator, or you can upgrade to solar power. Stuff like that. You'll find these bits and pieces that you'll need to do all these things on your raids. So the character. This is obviously the player character. This is the one that you can choose what gear goes on it. You have different backpacks, you have different armors, various types of clothing, medkits, all sorts of different weapons, and each weapon has masses of configuration options. After the configuration options, you have different ammos that you can use, which obviously is one of the actual major factors. Is if you have all of the best bits and pieces on your guns, but you use a really bad ammo, you're not going to penetrate anybody's armor. So here is a look at the map that I'm about to do a scav run on. I'm going to spawn in up here. I'm basically just going to run into the nearest kind of little village or town. I'm going to loot some stuff and basically fill up my backpack. I will encounter another player here, and I'm not going to tell you how that goes, but I do encounter another player. Then I end up leaving this area because my like all of my pockets are full. I can't literally carry anything else. I'm going to make my way across the front and extract at the end of that little kind of peninsula island, or whatever it's called. So yeah, that's that. So I mean, you can see how huge the map actually is, and I'm literally only showing you a very, 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 very small section of it. Okay, so here we are. We've spawned in. I'm going to check for ammunition in the weapon, first of all. Then I'm going to check what my scav has actually been supplied with. Level 3 armor, that's okay. A scav vest has kind of limited storage, and I don't have a lot of storage with this scav spawn. But I'm going to head into the nearest town here Now, there will be players on the map that have already established themselves, because as a scav you can spawn in at any point during the raid. Players will already be in here, and scavs will join and basically spawn in throughout the raid. And you'll keep seeing the clock occasionally when I press for it up at the top right. Obviously trying to check my my local area as quick as I can. Searching in this jacket that's hung up, and I found a key. Keys open obviously various things, give you access to rooms that are locked in various locations. If you think about what this is essentially an abandoned civilization almost, and you know, if you find a key you might be able to get access to where this person worked. That's the kind of thinking behind this. Checking all of the objects, because basically things can be anywhere. You know, a can of food that's on the floor might actually be something that you want to pick up, and you basically got to check all your corners, move your mouse around as much as possible. But there was limited stuff in there. Everything that you pick up you can trade for various items, or use to upgrade your hideout. So as you can hear, I am making a lot of noise as I'm moving through things. I'm not being stealthy at all here. The sound that you make and that other people make is very, very, very important. I haven't heard anybody outside yet or seen anybody outside, so I'm basically just being as quick as I can be before someone comes along. Checking the cash register. If nobody's been here, there'll usually be some rubles. Obviously certain things can be double stacked, like you saw me pulling these rubles onto the same stack there. Your character does have health stats. You can lose energy. You can become dehydrated. And this goes for scavs and main characters. So you do have to eat, drink during the mission. And I've actually died quite a few times because I basically didn't manage that properly. I've been here long enough now that I'm starting to get a little bit nervous that someone will have heard all this. You know, I've not been exactly quiet here. So you can see with the inventory management, it's based on a certain amount of blocks, and different types of clothing, backpacks, things like that have different pockets in them. So a side pocket might have a like a 2-space block. Certain other pockets might be a single block, and then you have obviously the large area of a backpack, which would be a larger group of blocks. Over time, you do get to learn what's actually searchable, what isn't. Like there's a sports bag on the floor there. Each time I look at my inventory, you could see something there that said 89 and 88. That was actually my hydration and energy levels. It goes from 0 to 100. And you do experience blackouts. You will have serious problems if you don't actually take care of your character. So I've just pressed to bring up the clock there. There's 34 minutes left in the raid. And the 2 extraction points that are available to me are Road to Customs and Lighthouse. There is no in-game map. You can have the one that I showed you earlier, which you can bring on your player character, but a scav never has a map. So you need to learn the maps. It's as simple as that, which is why I've not actually tried all of the locations. I'm still learning things about Shoreline. So yeah, it's going to take you a while. It's possible that someone else has been here because that crate had been smashed. Just heard a shot in that direction. I'm definitely going to be a little bit wary, checking that direction. Going into the back of another store now. Wasn't able to get over that fence. If you actually increase your ability to jump, the more you jump, basically the stronger you become, or the more kind of energy, stamina, etc. You'll actually build up with your player character. As scav, you don't have a choice. So here I've got to do a little bit of inventory management. So what I've done there is I've actually eaten this here. So I get the benefit of it, and it allows me to move some of my inventory around. But I actually can't loot much more now. So at this point, as someone who's still kind of trying to just make money from my scav and still learn the maps, I am pretty much ready to extract. I'm ready to go to the locations that I can get out and take this stuff with me. So what I've just seen there is Plex, which I actually want to get. So I've dropped one item. I'm going to pick that up there. Just heard something outside. And I've just seen what I'm fairly sure is a player. Didn't have time to get a shot off there. I'm assuming that he's going to actually come through here. Maybe he can jump over this fence where I couldn't. I'm going to try to stay in front of the bush, so if he comes from behind, I'll have cover, and he might not be able to see me. I'm looking at the entranceway through that fence. Waiting to see if he appears. There's some footsteps. That's footsteps on gravel. That's footsteps on wood, so I now think that he's inside the building. So, that's him dead. One of the things that I like about Tarkov is that when you're dead, you're dead. It's like quite often if you get a good shot in the face, you can kill somebody with a single shot. So here I want this person's backpack. It's bigger than my backpack. So I'm going to move around some of this inventory and see if I can drag my backpack into his backpack. Unfortunately I couldn't. So I'm going to discard those 3 items and do that. I'm going to search his vest. So those things that are kind of greyed out with the question marks, I haven't yet examined those at all. So I literally don't know what those are until I do that. Just trying to take as many items as I actually can. I already took his weapon and put it in my on my back. I will want to take that medical pack. So you have to listen very carefully, obviously, when you're doing this, because he could have had a teammate. He could have also, you know, brought someone else over here. And if his teammate was looking for me and I drank that drink there, his teammate might hear that. So, you know, you've got to be careful not to draw people out to your location. So at this point, I'm ready to go. I've had to actually drop items and not bring them with me. So at this point, you're just going to be seeing me as carefully as I can extracting, trying to sort of check all my corners, make sure that I'm clear, and just do the best job I can of not getting shot on the way out. Because obviously, with a scav, if you get shot, you literally lose everything. That really wasn't your main character. As soon as you're shot, you die, you lose everything you were carrying. With your player character, you have basically a little suitcase that you carry with you, which you can put really important items into, and it's like a secure box. Nobody can open that except from you. So basically what happens is that you get that at the end of every raid, even if you've died. So if you're going in somewhere, you get something that's worth kind of 500,000 rubles, you stick that in that case. If you get shot, it's like, yes, that was a very successful raid still. Just to give the fundamentals of a raid, I think they're usually 50 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. As far as the map's concerned, you'll have the player main characters, which will start on the sides of the map, opposite sides, and then they have to extract on the opposite side to where they start. So it forces players to kind of cross over each other. Now, scavs also spawn pretty much all over the map, but they spawn during the main character's raid. So you will have NPC scavs and you'll have player scavs that will be basically wandering around the map, which are aggressive towards the main characters that people have come in with. So I mean, I love the dynamics of this. I'm not a big kind of first-person shooter player, but the whole looting system, the fact that if you really, really want to, you can basically use stealth, never kill anybody, but be really, really, really quiet, really careful, go from bush to bush, go from cover to cover, and just loot, build up your hideout, build up your money stash, get the best gear, because you know you can really upgrade your player. You can have visors that can take that are basically bulletproof, helmets that are bulletproof. You'll have various armor levels. I think it goes up to level 6. The one I spawned in with, I think, was a level 3. But you really have to learn the maps. Like little things like that, you know, knowing that I could get over that fence. It's something that you're not going to have when you start off playing the game. So basically my extract is kind of directly in front where I'm looking when I look at the top of this hill here. I'm going to kind of run along the road on the coast. You can see the water there. When you know the map, you'll know that kind of behind me there's a player extract. Kind of to the right of me there's a player extract. So I know when I'm running through here that there will be players that need to get to where I'm near. Like the map knowledge, learning, being okay with losing your stuff a lot is just very, very important. So you can tell that I'm getting out of breath. Keep having to wait effectively for my stamina to rebuild. I think I'm only level 2, level 3 in endurance. Oh, but that doesn't count for this because this is a scav. This isn't my player character. And obviously the slower you move, the quieter you'll be. But you've got to weigh in, you know, how long you're going to be on the map if you don't run. And the fact that, you know, someone can see you and just snipe you from 1,000 meters away. So when I'm running here, you'll see that quite often I actually weave around trees and around bushes. That's because, as well as the fact that I'm making noise breathing, my guns are rattling and everything like that. My shoes. The fact is that when you run through a bush or anything like that, it's going to make a large amount of noise. Directly in front there you can see a gas station. This is usually an area where you'll find a player or two. You'll definitely find an NPC scav kind of patrolling. Don't see it, so it's possible someone killed it. Just trying to keep moving. The green bar at the lower left is my stamina. You can see someone has definitely been down here. I decide to get off the road level, kind of weaving around a little bit, trying to make it hard for any potential snipers. So this building could easily have someone in it who can shoot me out of the window. Kind of obviously a little bit risky to just run past here. I try to check it as much as I can without going inside. Like someone could have been in that doorway behind me and shot me in the back of the head. So I know that I'm about to enter an area which is open. And I need to be able to sprint the whole way. So I'm just going to wait in here for my stamina to... or my energy level to rebuild, so I'll be able to sprint the whole way. Another dead. You don't actually know, by the way, whether a scav is a human or an NPC. With experience, you can kind of tell a little bit based on where the scav is and a little bit of how they're walking. So this is the extraction point. This is the lighthouse. And there we go. That's actually a successful scav mission, and all of the stuff that I looted with this scav I could then give to my player character and can use in my player character's hideout. And the things that I will build in that hideout will help my player character's stats. Anyway, that's the very, very basics of Tarkov. I highly recommend a streamer and YouTuber called Pestily, Pestily, and a Twitch streamer and YouTuber called Sacriel42, Sacriel, I think, 42. They're Tarkov players. They have pretty good guides, and they're both great streamers. I'm a beginner completely. I just wanted to put this together for my friend, but I've put it up here on YouTube anyway. So yeah, check those guys out if you want more in-depth guides. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.